In this video, I will show you how I cast on stitches with the Italian cast-on method, also called the tubular cast-on method, when I have to make a purl stitch, the first stitch on my needle. Usually you will have your yarn end closest to your body when you start out doing this method, but when you have to cast on stitches for when first stitch has to be a purl stitch, you have to do it opposite. So you will have your yarn attached to the yarn ball closest to your body, and the yarn tail will be away from you, like that. I will grab onto the yarn exactly the same way, like this. And now I will start by casting on a purl stitch. So, like this. I'll do it again. So, behind and through. In another video, I'm showing how to exact hold and the whole movement. This is not what's in focus here. The focus is how to start out when doing a purl stitch and how to knit the 2 stabilization rows afterwards. So this is my purl stitch. Now I'm going to do a knit stitch, knit cast on stitch, like that. You see it's open here, and a purl stitch has this string in front of it. Now it's a purl stitch again. 1, 2, 3, and it's stitch 4, 5. Now I have to fasten my cast on my stitches by making the last stitch with like a back loop cast on, and I will have to use the yarn from my yarn ball, and I will grab onto the yarn like this. I will put my yarn over my needle, hold it in position with my finger, and now I will put my needle down in the hole here and turn around like that. Now I'm ready to knit my first stabilization row, and my stitches are fixed. They won't open because I made this last back loop casted on stitch. Yes, my first stitch here is a purl stitch. When doing double knitting stabilization rows, I have to slip all my purl stitches with the yarn in front of the work, and I'll have to knit all my knit stitches. So first I'll bring the yarn to the front, and I will slip the first purl stitch purlwise, like that. Now I will knit my first knit stitch. I will slip the next purl stitch purlwise with the yarn in front of the work. I will knit my knit stitch. I will slip my purl stitch purlwise with the yarn in front of the work. And here, this is my last knit stitch, but it appears as 2. This is the string I put over my needle to begin with before I did my first cast on. And now I have to knit through both these strings, like this. This was stabilization row number 1. Now I'll do stabilization row number 2. So this means I will slip my first stitch purlwise with the yarn in front of the work, like that. I will knit the next stitch. I will slip the next stitch purlwise with the yarn in front of the work, knit my knit stitch, slip my purl stitch with the yarn in front of the work and knit my last stitch, my last knit stitch, like that. This is how I cast on with the Italian cast on method when I have to have a purl stitch or a slipped purl stitch here as a starter. And this is how I also knit my stabilization rows. And I'll do this when I knit my front piece on the Uva Bella clever as an example.